Hi, this is Jeff from the Ozark Mountains. That's in Missouri, in the USA. Well, we're back over at the retro kitchen table turned retro computer table, so that could only mean one thing. That's right, it's time for another Ferengi Friday, where we take a look at the recent acquisitions that have made their way into the shop. So, grab yourself a cup of coffee or some prune juice, a real warrior's drink, and let's get started. Thanks to PCBWay for sponsoring this episode. They offer an excellent quick-turn PCB prototyping service, which now has a free upgrade to the 150-160 temperature range. They also offer a wide range of services that allow you to go from idea to a finished product, including CNC machining, 3D printing, injection molding, PCB assembly. Go on over to PCBWay.com/OEM to find out more. Here's our first box. Now this guy's been sitting around unopened for more than 2 months. I just haven't been buying stuff recently, and I thought, well, I've got a few boxes saved up now, so it might be time for a Ferengi Friday. This looks to be well packaged. This was a whole lot of TRS-80 pocket computer stuff, and I didn't need another pocket computer, honestly, but this came with loads of accessories, the software, and things like that, which are very hard to find. Everything is packaged up really nicely. Wow. I don't know if I've given this guy feedback on eBay yet, but look at this. Look how nicely these are packaged. So I'm going to get all of these unwrapped, and we'll have a look at what's in here. So here's everything that was in that box. It was really crammed full. It included this TRS-80 PC-2 with the printer and cassette interface. There was this pocket organizer software booklet in here, but that's not one of the cassettes that came with it. PC-2 reference card, a printout for a program which looks like it might be some type of organizer program, so I don't know if they printed that out onto this thing here. That's kind of interesting. The box for the 8K RAM module, which I assume is in the computer. The power supply is in here, which charges this guy. You know, some pins, cassette cable, and interestingly, multimeter leads. Not something I would have expected to find in there. These have made in Japan marked on them, but no Radio Shack part number, so I don't know if these were from a Radio Shack meter or not. This whole pile of cassettes here, and somebody wrote on the bottom there, as you can see, they must have had them stored like this or something. Let's have a look at these. Engineering Math 1. These are in pretty good shape, boxes and all. These came as a set of 1 or 2 cassettes. You can see this end has no cassette in it. And this one does. So we've got Engineering Math 1, Engineering Math 3, but no Engineering Math 2. The boxing on these was kind of clever because they only printed one box, and the pamphlet for it that came with it, the instructions, became the differentiating item, so you can tell them apart. That's clever. Saves on packaging cost. Golf, scoring, and handicapping. A calendars program. Games 2. Statistical analysis. And business stats. This one's heavier, so yeah, it's got a cassette in both ends, so there's 2 cassettes with this. And these 2 are for the PC-2 over here. There's chemistry and math, and PC-2 Math Pack 1. And of course we have the booklet for the pocket organizer, but not the software itself. Some other oddities, a couple boxes of printer paper for the PC2, and one of these is some printer paper that's already been used that has programs printed out on it, so that might be interesting to look at. And these are boxes of paper for the PC1. Again, there's some printouts on here, which is on one of the rolls, which is kind of interesting. Now, you guys may recognize this. I don't recognize this part number. It is some ribbon cartridges for a Radio Shack TRP-100 printer, as well as a thermal film for the same printer. So, I don't know what these look like. These feel like they have something in them. Indeed they do. This still has all the paraphernalia on it, so I would guess this might be an unused ribbon, and this looks like a transfer type ribbon. So that's the ribbon material there. So my guess is it is, since there's a small gap right here, there's probably a thermal head that goes behind here, and it's like a dot matrix transfer onto paper. I do not have one of these printers. I don't know what they were for. My guess it was a sort of low-cost printer. But we'll see. And this guy is the thermal film refill. And yeah, I don't know what that is. Was that to refill a cartridge? Let's do some research on that. This was a pack of 5, and there's only 1 left in there. So, not sure who still has these printers around that might be looking for the ribbons and refills. And this is a tricolor ink pack for a Radio Shack CGP 220 color inkjet printer. And I opened this up earlier, and it indeed is a new in-box. Still got the yellow cellophane tape on there. And it looks like a 3-pack of color ink 261282. And these are just some type of foil packs in here. I guess one of each of 3 colors. Yeah, there's 3 nozzles on here. It just plugs in. So they call it a 3-pack, but it's really 1 cartridge with 3 different colors in it. So this is unopened, not used, so maybe it still works. Again, if somebody has one of these printers they want to get going, this might be important. I do not. So 3 million characters each of cyan, magenta, and yellow. Interesting. Okay, so my main interest in these was the software with the nice boxes. The other stuff's kind of a bonus. This PC2 is in very good condition though. Looks very well loved, and the sexy velour case that so many people like is also in wonderful shape. Got a few more boxes here, so let's get to those. Okay, next box. This is the most recent edition. Just got it in last week. So we'll get all this bubbly stuff out of here. Kind of a so-so packaging job. And we'll see what's in there. So here's what was in the box. Because things are kind of crappily packaged, the wall wart head, the contacts bent over, it's cracked a little bit. This isn't an original NEC marked, so it's probably not that big a deal, but hopefully we can get that fixed and it'll work. A rather odd cable. This is like a 50 position or so. I didn't count them, but it's about that size. And it goes to 2 DB25s. So this says NEC 8201 on it. I'm not sure what that cable is for. And you're like, well, big deal, Bert. You know, we've seen NEC 8201s before on your channel. You fixed a lot of them. And if we take a look at the manual that came with it, that might give you a hint that something's different about this one, because the manual is in Japanese. Yep. So what does that mean? Let's have a look. Standard looking NEC PC-8201A case. But it is red. Yes. It has a sticker on here with more Japanese writing that says 502/9000 Radio Shack TRS-80 and something, which I'm guessing means it's like a Model 100. 8545, so April 5th, 85. About, well, almost 40 years ago. This is later in April. And kind of the same as a 22-485. Rather interesting. And of course red on the back too. Another sticker in here in Japanese. Pull out the battery cartridge and it doesn't look too bad in there. There's no cells in it, of course. Probably some battery leakage at one time. Some scuffing on the bottom, which isn't surprising. I'm not sure what the deal was with these red variants of the PC-8201, but this one popped up and the price wasn't awful, so I bought it. As far as I'm aware, the functionality is exactly the same as the boring old beige 8201. Yep, no extra RAM. Standard ROM. Nothing extra in there, it's just a fancy color. So we'll get this running at some point in time and have an unusual looker in the collection. I'm dropping screws. I'm not sure. Hopefully this dirt will clean up. Battery leakage always stains paint, and there's no way that this maroon paint is going to be matched. So I just have to clean it up as good as we can. If you have any idea what the story is behind these red 8201s, I would love to hear about it. There we go. It's been well used. It has no cartridge port inside. And I'm not sure where this cable is supposed to plug, because we don't have two female DB25 ports to plug it into, and the cartridge port is female, so no idea, a mystery. Box number 3. Now I know what this is. This is a nice looking Model 100, which came in trade for a Macintosh cable. You remember, oh, it's been more than a year ago, I did a Ferengi Friday where I had a whole pile of stuff from the university I worked for that I got through University Surplus, and in there was some odd Macintosh cables. Video cables for some sort of Y connection for a Macintosh PC interface card. It was like a PC on a card that plugged to your Macintosh so you could run DOS stuff. I guess those are very, very hard to find. So I sent one to a Mac aficionado, and he came across this nice Model 100, which wasn't his thing, and he offered to send it to me. And I thought that was really nice of him. Here we go. So just a computer enthusiast trading some stuff around. Just a nice example of a Model 100 in good condition. Even the screen protector is nice, and the screen's not burnt, so This will need to be recapped. The Model 100 is one of the few machines that I always recap. The caps on these always leak. The 102s are not a problem, strangely enough. Just a few years between the two made a big difference. We do have one more box, and I don't quite remember what's inside of it, so it'll be a surprise. Okay, last little box, and I bet you can guess from the eBay tape that this is from eBay. I'm pretty sure this is pocket computer related, but it's also been sitting on the shelf for a while, so I don't remember what it is or why I bought it, so we will see. I'll go ahead and get this opened up here. Oh, yeah, more software. All right. Yep, I'll get this opened up and we'll have a look at what's inside. Okay, I remember now. Somebody on Discord gave me the heads up that they saw this on eBay. And as you can see, it is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 titles for one money, and it didn't go for much at all. A lot of times these individual titles go for 20-ish bucks on eBay, and I think this whole thing is like 60 or so. A pretty good deal. This is all PC-1 software or Sharp PC-1211. We have surveying and real estate, engineering math 2. Still got plastic on it, but it's been opened. Engineering math 3. So we've got 2 and 3. Oh, look at that. It's upside down either way. But it's engineering math 4. Ooh. Electrical engineering 1. Civil engineering. Somebody had a broad range of interest. Aviation. Personal finance. Maybe after buying all this pocket computer stuff back in the 80s, they thought they needed some help with personal finance. Business finance. Interesting. This is not ripped. This is what the cover looks like. Can't quite figure out why they did that type of look, but hey, a banner printer for the PC-1 printer. That's interesting. Remember we created a banner program for a Casio calculator a while back? There was one from back in the day. And calendars. This also has the plastic on it, but it's been opened 1995, back in the 80s, which was a pretty good chunk of change. So let's say early 80s, minimum wage in the US was maybe $2.50 an hour. So that's more than a day's work for a young kid to earn enough money to buy one of these software titles. So the next time you think that the modern games for the PlayStation 14 or whatever they're up to now are too expensive, accounting for inflation and what their stuff was selling for in the 80s, they're not a bad deal. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun finding all these software titles and boxes for the pocket computers. You guys know I like those. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in that comment section down there below. If you know anything about that Radio Shack inkjet printer or the one that took those funny thermal roll things, let me know in the comments down below. I don't know anything about those. And until next time, bye.